You're on a roll. So you've swept the last couple, and what's going on with you guys?
It doesn't feel like we're on a roll. I mean, I think as a coach, and most coaches will probably tell you that you're so focused on what's going to happen next that you never really focus on what just happened. And I don't feel that we're playing. I thought we played a little bit better. I thought our offense was better this last weekend. But going to Kansas and certainly getting 3 wins and is always better than the alternative. And but there's just so much more things that we can get better at, and then trying to rest them, on a trip like, we got up at 4:30 in the morning, their time, which is 2:30 in the morning our time, and as you guys know, anytime you're traveling that early, you're just kind of trashed the rest of the day, and sometimes that carries over the next day. And so trying to get them enough rest and recover and still try to practice and get enough practice time in preparation for this coming weekend. So we're trying to balance that.
What's been the biggest improvement, Coach, since like the Nebraska game? And there was a lot of hype for that, but you've done, like Pete just said, you've done really, really well since then. What's been the turnaround?
Well, I think for us, because the offense is so new for us and not as innate in everyone's, we've been running the same offense, for 28 years. So when you change things so dramatically, the players, it takes time. So every week it gets a little bit more comfortable for everybody, especially for Julia and for the middles. I think it creates the greatest amount of change for those 2 positions. So we were better. I mean, Devin's numbers this weekend were terrific. Our offensive numbers have gotten better, continue to improve. But Nebraska's, now they're ranked number 1 in the country. So when you're playing the best teams in the country, they tend to not make you look as good, So, I'd like another shot at them later on in the season when we're, a little more comfortable with what we're trying to do. But we'll have plenty of opportunity to face, to compete against top-level competition. Nebraska and Stanford play tonight at Nebraska, so that should be pretty telling in terms of who really is the number 1 team in the country.
You've been putting Hina in the back row quite a bit. What's the thought? What thought went into that?
Well, right now the middles, we sub the middles out to serve, and we're trying to figure out which of the littles can really serve, and we're kind of spinning the dial, and it's been a revolving door with that group, trying to figure out which one can really put some pressure on the opposing team as a server and then play some defense. And so we're just kind of seeing who can rise to the occasion and be able to do that. This weekend we used Aaron Williamson a lot and Hina. It just kind of depends on who's we feel at the moment's got the right mojo to be able to serve it in and serve it tough.
Coach, are you happy with your libero play? I mean, you're using different players in that position.
Kamaili is. The reason why we recruited Kamaili and gave her a 4-year scholarship. Again, the first player we've ever in that position we've given 4 years. She's really been worth every penny. She's a special kind of kid, kind of athlete, and so I've been really happy with her and her presence and her ability to make the transition from high school to this level. She's an elite player for us.
Were you a little, did you think she'd come in and just be able to transition so well and really be a part of your play so far?
I knew that she would eventually get to that point. I knew that she would get to the point where she is right now. I think going to Europe helped her, being around the team and playing with the group. And we didn't really have a designated libero at the time. I was playing everybody in that position. I think that, McKenna being out has helped her only because the competition right now, because McKenna was a starting libero all last year. But I've always felt that Kamaili had it in her to be where she's at right now. I just didn't know when it would happen. Fortunately for us, it happened, pretty quickly. So my feeling is that the more that she can handle the ball, the better that we'll be.
What is it that she brings that's so special?
Anytime I've coached players like Kamiley. They have an X factor about them that makes them elite. And typically, it's the combination of being a terrific athlete, quickness and speed and explosiveness, an innate ability in terms of just aptitude for the game, and then really it's their mind, it's their brain that really separates them. And I think that's probably true with any sport, that the elite players have all that combination along with an elite mind.
Is there a timeline on McKenna returning?
Well, she's out for another couple weeks. You know, she had a procedure done, and now we're just kind of waiting to see when we're gonna allow her to start practicing. Right now, she's not even practicing, so she's just kind of waiting to see when. But we could really use her in a lot of different capacities. It gives us some depth. Right now, there's not a lot of depth in that position.
And do we know what the injury was? Was lower leg or something? Groin or
Pardon?
something?
Injury, McKenna's injury.
Yeah, her injury.
It's an old high school injury that, she tore her hamstring her junior year. And it's just been an ongoing, lingering type of injury that kind of comes and goes. And then during the fall camp, she really extended too far, and I don't know if she tore a muscle or was close to tearing it. I don't know. But anyway, it prevents her from doing anything really explosive at this point.
What are you expecting this weekend?
It's a good question. I think that Alabama State, their setter went down, and it'd be like if Julia went down for us. It'd be as good as Hina is. It would be a struggle for us, and so Alabama State's been struggling. They just lost last night. They're 3-6, so they're trying to figure some things out in terms of their setting position. New Mexico State's going to be very good, as they always are, and there's always right now a rivalry. We play them home and away almost every year now, so I like playing those guys. They're tough and they're talented and well coached. So that'll push us Friday night. And then Sacramento State's kind of in a rebuilding phase. So the hope is that we put ourselves in a position to win every single match by how we play. We just can't get sloppy on our end. We need to continue to make progress every single week. And so the following week, we open the conference and have ASU both on the road and USC. So the key for us is just continue to improve.
Does New Mexico State run two setters? I was looking at their numbers.
Yeah, so they run a 6-2, versus us. So they have two setters going in, and they have a young lady from Tucson, Katie Bertzel is from there, and she played at Ironwood Ridge, and she's getting some minutes. So it should be a really good match for us. They'll be very hyped for it because there's the natural. We play them in the spring and we play them every single fall. And last year they beat us at their place, so they'll be hungry for sure.
Was it like playing against your brother every year?
If he was the head coach, it would be a little more awkward. But him being the assistant isn't as awkward as it might possibly be. But Mike Jordan is that staff is like family to us. We just really look after each other and help each other out anytime we can.
Coach, injuries withstanding, how do you rate the progress of where you are right now to where you think you should be?
That's a good question. I think that like I said before when we opened up the season, we have a lot of really good players. I mean, high-level elite players. Devin Cross and, Julia, Paige Whipple's really turned around. The play of Liz Shelton recently has given us some real offense on the right side. And so she's become a real factor for us. And then the key to our team is really the development of our first contact skills, serve, receive, defense, so we can keep ourselves in the system, and then the development of Katie Smoot, Whitney Neapoli, and those two players are going to play some significant time. And as they get better, I feel our team is going to get better. And so, those are the players. That position is, trying to take over for Kendra Dahlke. It's a pretty large shoes to fill. But I've been really pleased with the development of the other players, the pin players. So Liz and Paige have really been really, really good. The development of Katie Smoot has been really good, But our success is tied into those guys.
Anything else for Coach Rubio?
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks.
Here, we'll open it up for questions.
How does it feel to be on a roll?
It feels really nice. I mean, everybody loves winning, but it's just nice when everybody's confident in what we're doing and confident in each other. So it's just, added bonuses.
Do you feel a little more comfortable with the new system?
Yeah, 100%. Because in the beginning, it was like, everybody was like, what is this? It's pretty rocky. We just didn't understand it. But after going through it and really breaking it down like piece by piece, it's like, okay, this wasn't as hard as we thought.
Devin, when you came back, you've really come back with what I think is like a purpose. I mean, what was your mindset when you were out to when you wanted to return? Because you came back and you've been gangbusters ever since.
My whole idea is that it's my last season. It's that kind of senior moment. It's like, okay, I'm done after this. Like, this is really my last time. So why not just, what is there to lose when you just put everything in?
And what do you think of the play of Kamiley? She's a freshman and she's really just come in and just really helped you guys out a lot. What do you think she brings?
I think Kamiley, she kind of reminds me of Laura in a sense, Laura Larson from my freshman year, in a sense of how much she communicates, even though we tell her she has a really quiet voice, and we're like, use your outdoor voice. But I've just really been really proud at how much she's just grown and developed, and how much of a good player she is, and just how we can depend on her. And like, we never have to worry, because some people always have that idea of like, okay, a freshman, you kind of have to sit back and like, maybe they can't do it, but it's never been that with her.
How much are you looking forward to starting the conference season?
Oh my gosh, I'm so ready. I am so ready to play conference. I'm excited because we've been keeping up with all the other teams, just like preseason on. It's like, okay, like, we're ready. Like, just bring on conference. We're ready to see how it goes. Like, I'm most excited just to start and get out there.
Anything else for Devin? Okay, thanks, Devin.
Thanks, Devin.